going to do a list, and our list is in honor of the upcoming 4th of July. So we are doing our list of our top 5 favorite firecrackers.
Oh, yeah.
These are the sassy characters that you enjoy reading about and you want to read more about.
The BA characters.
It's a true story.
The BA characters.
Right there. So should I start?
Yeah, I think we'll stick with that. We'll stick with you. Start with your 5 first.
I'll do my 5 and you'll do your 5. We'll do 5. Yeah, we'll both do our 5s.
Okay.
So the first one on my list, Sarah is going to make a face about because we have very different feelings of Cassandra Clare books.
Oh!
I'm sorry. I'm a fan of Sarah's now.
Why?
And the character I picked was Emma Carstairs, which is the female lead in Lady Midnight, and I loved it because she is the one that went in and defeated the demons. She's the one that saved the boy, and she is the one that had all the control. And I like it when the damsel is not in distress.
Fair point. Okay, so my number 5 is Raised by Wolves by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This is one of her series books that's about werewolves. The main character, Bryn, is not actually a werewolf, but she lives with werewolves. However, she is totally down with getting up in their faces and not taking no for an answer and not listening to their BS. She is a BA. She will kick a werewolf's butt even though she has no chance. And somehow she gets away with it. Like, ultimately, she ends up coming out on top.
That's
so she is a good firecracker.
My number 4 is Julep Dupree from the book Trust Me, I'm Lying by Elizabeth Mary Summers. And Julep is being a girl that is raised by con artists, and she is now the ultimate con artist. And she has to solve all sorts of mysteries all by herself. And she's the one that goes in there and she basically tells it how it is and she figures it out and she gets the con done. And so I enjoyed it. She was firecrackery.
I love me some firecrackers.
And I love some con artists. Good con artists. We should do a list of good con artist books.
I don't know if I have that many of them.
I probably do. I enjoy a good con artist.
Are you a con artist?
Part of me is. I have a little bit of grifter in me.
Pickpocket? Anyway, so my number 4 is Savvy by Ingrid Law. So this is a tween book, so it's for the younger kids. But this one's about Mibs, and everybody in her family has a savvy or like a superpower. And it's not really like a superpower in the way that you think, but it's more like it makes you better at something that you're already
It was a special talent.
Yeah, it was like a special talent. Okay, yeah, that's a good way to explain it. Like, the one mom in one of the books is just like perfect at everything, so she can't drop anything, so she's like more graceful and she's always on time and that kind of thing. But anyway, so Mibs is at the age where she's supposed to get her talent and she hasn't yet. And so it's just kind of, she is a fighter and willing to be her own self with even though she doesn't have the special talent, wants it, and everybody around her has their special talent and uses it, and she's kind of jealous, but she still kind of works through it. And they're really good, really good books.
Yeah, the first one was good. I only read the first one. My number 3 is Jenny Blackstone from 13 Little Blue Envelopes, and I picked Jenny for multiple reasons. One, I personally feel that everybody at some point in their lives should read 13 Little Blue Envelopes.
I feel like that's going to show up on every single list, though, with you.
It hasn't, though. This is the first one I put on a list.
Okay.
Because I love this book, and the character, for people who have not read the book, the character in this book is sent on a mission by her late aunt, and she has to go to all these different countries and find clues, an envelope that will then lead her to the next step. And I have been known to go to said countries and buy copies of 13 Little Blue Envelopes in those countries. I'm working on it. I'm halfway done.
I want that scavenger hunt, I'm just saying.
I'm halfway done, so.
If I get Little Blue Envelopes, I will follow.
Exactly. And Jenny's just she just goes out there and does it and is fearless, even though she is kind of there are moments that she's afraid, but she still does it, which makes her so brave, and she stands up to people, and she was so honest. I love that character.
Well, yeah, and she's more of an introvert, and they force her to kind of come out of her shell, too.
And it was just, because of the fact that she was afraid and did it, I thought that made her just even more of a firecracker.
Okay.
Made her braver.
Okay.
Plus the book is awesome.
Okay. All right, so we're on number 3. My 3. Okay, so my 3 is also another tween book. This one came out recently. I think it won the Newbery Award. It's so good. If you read any of these books on the list, read this one. It's called The War That Saved My Life by Kimberly Brubaker Bradley.
Newbery
so
Honors.
Good. Oh, it was Newbery Honor.
Yeah.
So it's basically, it takes place in England during World War II. The children are all sent from London out into the countryside, and Ada, one of the children, she was born with kind of a club foot, so she can't walk as well because her mom's kind of a jerk face and wouldn't give her the surgery, so she couldn't kind of grow and progress as she should. And basically, she has a younger brother who was getting sent to the countryside, but Ada wasn't going because the mom doesn't like her. However, Ada taught herself on her own how to walk on this, this foot that hurt her. Like, it hurt her badly. But she taught herself how to walk. She then choreographed it so that her and her brother both went on to the train and both found themselves a place to stay when they were all out in the countryside. And, in the end, she finds somebody who's really there to help her and kind of treats her like a normal child as she should have been treated. And I think she, for that, just to overcome the kind of pain that she had to overcome and to overcome the what the mother kind of placed upon her to overcome that, it was just phenomenal. She was a firecracker.
Yeah, the whole story, the situation with the mom, it was very sad.
Yeah, it was super sad.
My number 2 is another one Sarah didn't care for. I picked Selena Sardothian from Throne of Glass. I love the Throne of Glass series, and I love Selena because she was a BA assassin, and she got thrown into the mines, and she survived that, and then they picked her to go to the palace and possibly be the king's assassin, and she had to compete against all these other grown men assassins, and she kicked ass, and it was awesome.
Oh, I couldn't even finish that book.
I've read all of them.
Couldn't even
everything by Sarah J. Maas, I love.
Out. Okay, so my number 2, I'm gonna go with Spirit and Dust by Rosemary Clement Moore. You cannot have a Firecracker book and not have a Rosemary Clement Moore book on it. So Spirit and Dust is actually the second book in a series, but I believe that it's more of a companion novel and not the second book in a series. And it's about Daisy Goodnight, who can see ghosts, and basically it's this mystery of figuring out who done it, who killed who. Anyway, she uses these awesomely big words that make you feel super smart when you read them and know what they mean, and she is sarcastic to the nth degree, but is super hilarious. So she is so funny. Kind of like my book spirit animal. Love her.
Good times.
Yeah.
Do we want to recap 1 through 4, 5 through 2, and then we'll do 1?
Yeah.
Okay, so my 5 was Emma Carstairs from Lady Midnight by Cassandra Clare. 4, Julep Dupree, Trust Me I'm Lying by Elizabeth Mary Summers. Jenny Blackstone, 13 Little Blue Envelopes by Maureen Johnson. My number 2 is Selena Sardothian, Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. And do you want to do yours?
Okay, so number 5 was Raised by a Wolf. Yeah, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Number 5 was Raised by Wolves by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. Number 4 was Savvy by Ingrid Law. Number 3 was The War That Saved My Life by Kimberly Brubaker Bradley. Number 2 is Spirit and Dust by Rosemary Clement Moore. And now we're into number 1.
My number 1 is also from a Jennifer Lynn Barnes book. And I picked Tess Kendrick from The Fixer.
She was a BA.
And I haven't been as into Jennifer Lynn Barnes books as you are, but I loved The Fixer. It's about a girl who is being raised by her grandfather in Wyoming. He gets Alzheimer's. Her sister comes and he picks her up and takes her to DC. And it turns out that her sister is one of the major political fixers. Think kind of like Scandal. And Tessa kind of gets drawn into this world, and she gets drawn into mysteries and in her school, and she kind of starts fixing things, and she kind of the person that everybody in her school goes to. And I just read the sequel, and it was incredible. It's on my top 5 books of the year, the sequel.
Ooh, because it's on my list. I have it at home.
Yes, I was very lucky. I got an e-arc, and I just loved it.
I love Jennifer Lynn Barnes, though. Let me just tell you. Because I've read so many of her series, and you can actually see her growth. Her beginning series, weird. But, now that she's at The Fixer and The Naturals, beautiful.
See, I couldn't get into Naturals, but I loved The Fixers.
Okay, so my top book is Angel Fall by Susan E. It's spelled E-E. It's awesome. She's awesome. So basically, angels have come to Earth, and it's the apocalypse, and it's about Penryn, who has the coolest name ever, just by the way. So Penryn is basically saving her family. Her mom is a schizophrenic, paranoid schizophrenic. It gets a little touch and go there for a while, and her sister is actually in a wheelchair. So she's protecting her family from the angels so that they don't die, because the angels are not good guys in this book. And the wrath of God has come down. And basically, so Penryn is a martial artist, and she attempts to fight angels even though they're immortal, and she has like no reason to do this. Like, she literally at one point kicks an angel in the no, don't touch me there area, and it's hilarious. You know that it's not gonna hurt him, but she doesn't care. She's like, I am not letting you manhandle me. Boom, boom, boom. And it's awesome. And she is a firecracker to the nth degree, and she is a BA and awesome.
That is our firecracker list. Happy late 4th of July.
Yes, it's gonna be happy late 1st of July.